Before we stumble into unforeseen pitfalls, the divine often sends subtle signals. Are you attuned to receive them? Let's explore 6 key warnings from the heavens, guiding us away from impending traps. First, persistent unease. That nagging feeling, a constant weight in your gut, is rarely unfounded. It's your intuition, a direct line to divine wisdom, whispering a warning. Don't dismiss it as mere anxiety. I just can't shake this feeling that something's not right. Sarah admitted, her voice filled with worry. Ignoring the warning, Sarah proceeded with her plans. Second, recurring obstacles. Are your paths suddenly blocked? Doors slamming shut despite your best efforts? These aren't random setbacks. They are divine detours, gently redirecting you from a potentially harmful route. I don't understand it. Every time I try to finalize this deal, something goes wrong. In life's journey, we often encounter crossroads, moments where our choices determine our path. God, in His infinite wisdom, sends us warnings, subtle yet profound, to guide us away from traps and towards a fulfilling destiny. Here are 6 key warnings to heed. The first warning is a persistent sense of unease, that nagging feeling that something isn't right, a dissonance between your actions and your inner values. This is your intuition, God's whisper urging you to reconsider. I just have this feeling in my gut. This deal seems too good to be true, Sarah said, her voice filled with concern. Next, pay attention to recurring negative patterns. Do you find yourself repeatedly making the same mistakes, falling into similar destructive relationships, or experiencing the same setbacks? This cycle is a clear signal that you need to address an underlying issue. Why does this always happen to me? We often hear about falling into traps, situations that lead to regret, pain, or even ruin. But what if we were given warnings beforehand? Many believe that a higher power, often referred to as God, sends us subtle signs to guide us away from danger. Today, we'll explore 6 common warnings you might receive before falling into a trap. Recognizing these signs could save you from heartache. First, persistent unease. That nagging feeling in the pit of your stomach, the constant anxiety that something isn't right. It's not always paranoia. It could be your intuition, a divine whisper urging you to reconsider your path. I don't know, Mark. This deal feels off. I can't explain it, but I have this terrible feeling, Sarah said anxiously. Sarah said to her business partner, Mark. However, he brushed aside her feelings. Second, repeated obstacles. Suddenly, simple. Before you fall into a trap, there are signs. The divine whispers warnings, if only we know how to listen. Here are 6 spiritual warnings God sends you. Number 1, persistent feelings of unease. That nagging feeling that something is wrong, even when everything seems fine. Trust your intuition. It's often a divine compass. To herself, Anna said anxiously, I can't shake this feeling. Something just isn't right. Number 2, recurring negative patterns. Are you constantly finding yourself in similar difficult situations? It might be a sign to break the cycle and learn the lesson. Another rejection. I just don't understand what I'm doing wrong, Mark said, frustration evident in his voice. Number 3, loss of interest in things you once loved. The narrator explains that apathy towards your passions can indicate a misalignment with your true path. I don't feel it anymore, Sarah said. Have you ever felt like you're on the wrong path, heading towards a trap you can't quite see? The universe, or God, often sends us subtle signs to guide us. Recognizing these signs can be life-changing. Today, we'll explore 6 signs that you might be heading for a fall. Sign number 1, persistent negative thoughts. Are you constantly plagued by doubt, fear, or anxiety? These aren't just passing feelings. They are warning bells, signaling that your current trajectory is misaligned with your true purpose. I just don't know if I can do this. Everything feels so overwhelming, like I'm constantly failing, Sarah said anxiously. Sarah said, highlighting the pervasive negativity that was consuming her. Sign number 2, recurring obstacles. Are you facing the same challenges over and over again, no matter how hard you try? This indicates that you're not learning the necessary lessons or the world is full of choices, but some paths lead to shadows. Before you stumble into a trap, God sends signs. Are you watching? Anna, driven by desperation, sees an oasis. A lush green paradise beckons, promising relief. Water, I see water, Anna whispered to herself, hopeful and with desperate hope. A sign. A subtle warning, easy to miss in the face of overwhelming need. Anna hesitates. False hope, But I'm so thirsty, Anna said doubtfully. The vision clarifies. The oasis is a mirage, a deception. The shadowy figure represents the trap of immediate gratification. It's not real, Anna said with realization. She sees another sign, a bird flying east. East, away from the setting sun, toward a new dawn. A difficult path, but the true one. Sometimes the signs are not clear words, but feelings, intuitions. Listen to your inner voice. This investment opportunity is unlike anything. Throughout life, God sends us warnings before we stumble into traps. These warnings are subtle nudges, not always obvious, but ever present for those who are attuned. The first warning often comes as a feeling of unease, a nagging doubt that something isn't right. It's a dissonance in your spirit. This sounds too good to be true. I have a weird feeling about it, Sarah said to herself, concerned as she looked at a job offer. The second warning manifests as recurring obstacles. When every path forward seems blocked, it's a sign to reconsider your direction. I keep hitting dead ends. The funding fell through, the permits are delayed, what's going on? David said, frustrated. The third warning arrives through wise counsel. Pay attention to the trusted voices offering guidance, even if it's not what you want to hear. Mom, I'm sure this relationship is different. Emily, have you ever felt like something was off? A nagging feeling that steered you away from a potentially bad situation? These could be signs from a higher power, divine nudges guiding you. Today, we'll explore 6 common signs God sends before you fall. First, pay attention to repetitive dreams. These aren't just random firings of neurons. They often carry symbolic messages. A recurring dream of being lost, for example, might signify a wrong path you're currently on. Second, consider sudden, inexplicable changes in your plans. A canceled flight, a postponed meeting. These disruptions might seem frustrating, but they could be divine intervention preventing something worse. Third, heed the warnings disguised as gut feelings. That intuitive sense of unease is often your subconscious processing information your conscious mind hasn't yet grasped. Trust it. I just have this feeling. Welcome to our guide on recognizing the subtle signs that might warn you before you experience a fall. Falls can happen to anyone, but being aware can significantly reduce your risk. One of the earliest signs is a change in your balance. Do you find yourself suddenly unsteady or swaying more than usual? Oh, wow, I almost tripped there. I didn't see that crack in the sidewalk, Sarah said casually. Sarah said, noticing a recent increase in her near misses. Muscle weakness, especially in your legs, can also increase your risk. Are you having trouble climbing stairs or getting up from a chair? These stairs are getting steeper every day, I swear. Need to rest, John said, his voice strained. John paused halfway up the stairs, panting. Changes in vision, even subtle ones, can affect your depth perception and increase your risk. Make sure you have regular eye exams. I can't quite. The world was ripe with arrogance. Whispers of defiance against the divine echoed in every corner. But even in his wrath, God sends signs, whispers of warning before the fall. Look, the sun is gone, Sarah exclaimed, her voice filled with fear. A sign from above. We must repent, the old man urged, speaking with urgency. The crowd murmurs, some frightened, others scoffing at the old man's words. Elsewhere in the hallowed halls of the temple, the high priest dismisses the eclipse as a mere celestial event. These are natural occurrences. Fear-mongering has no place here. Continue with the rituals, the high priest said dismissively. Days turn into weeks. The eclipse fades from memory for most, but Sarah, a young woman with a pure heart, cannot shake the feeling of impending doom. She seeks guidance from a prophetess living in the desert. Please, tell me what the eclipse